whether it is fornication, it's adultery, it's lying, it's stealing, it's murder, whatever the nature of sin. In love, we should correct people and continuously admonish them.
And even talking about abuse, even some pastors abuse their wives.
I think it is high time we begin to teach them that it isn't just about this woman is beautiful, this man is fine, so that you can point to people, this is my husband.
Exactly.
It takes a lot to be in marriage.
Oral sex has a lot of implications, and one of it is the fact that it is one of the easiest way for the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases.
Trying to get something from somewhere you don't like, you will chop their money, and that money you eat fufu with it can block your womb. There is a woman who is praying, but most of these young girls don't know that they are lying.
You see, so most married men go out there and lie to innocent girls.
That who told you are innocent? These hypocritic girls.
Some of the girls are innocent. Because I know some girls who will tell you that if you are married, forget.
Hello, precious viewers. Thank you so much for being part of the show today. And you know it is a beautiful weekend with us here on GTV Live. The program is Weekend Review with me, Johnny Cole Dollarich. Thank you so much. I mean, every day for your comments and contributions, even for those encouragement words that you bring to us. Now, today we will bring you a topic of the week, but before that, I have this beautiful sister with me here on set. I will introduce her shortly, but let's go for this quick break. When we come back, I get to talk to her.
There is power in the name of Jesus. Dear precious one, come join hundreds of families praying to bring back the glory due them in their relationships, marriages, and businesses. The most dangerous side to life is fighting the battle of the unseen.
Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live
Presents Redeeming the Family Glory.
An atmosphere of worship and prayer to break bondages, curses, and to walk in liberty through a fulfilled life. GTV Live, a religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and to restore the family glory.
The venue is Unity Assemblies of God Church, Hacho, behind EcoBank, Hacho Atomic Road, with Reverend Dr. Kwame Bansa. Date, Sunday, 7th November 2016. Time, 8:30 a.m. sharp. Theme, celebrating our family. Precious one.
Evangelist Johnny Cole Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes it is not too late
For you and your family, come redeem the family glory through relentless prayer.
I will pray for the glory of my family. In Jesus' name.
This room, right in this room, we command you. I hear the...
You're welcome back, and the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Review Show with me, Johnny Cole Dollarich. I have this beautiful sister with me, but please, we have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. Let me welcome my lady. Vicky, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
How are you?
I'm blessed,
I
and
see.
you?
I'm also blessed.
We thank
And I want to
God.
take this opportunity to thank you so much for being part of the Redeeming the Family Glory.
Yes.
I mean, anytime you sing, it's been an awesome moment.
It's a pleasure.
Wow,
It's a pleasure.
wow. And I have a gentleman here. The name is
Frederick Cobson.
Frederick Cobson.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Wow. I hope everything is fine.
By the grace of
I
God.
see. Now, Vicky, you have this program coming up. Is it Carisi or something? Tell us more about Carisi.
It's charis.
Charis.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a Greek word meaning grace.
Grace.
Yes.
That's right.
It's an annual program we've been having. Even though it's the 3rd edition, yet the maiden, cause of the name.
Okay.
Yes, it used to be moments of worship.
Oh, okay.
But now it's charis.
Charis.
Yes.
Wow, wonderful. I mean, I've been following you for a while now, and being on the program, I mean, Redeeming the Family Glory, anytime you sing, something happens. You are so blessed.
We thank God.
You are so blessed.
Amen.
How long have you been in this music scene or something?
Well, I've been ministry for 12 years.
Ooh.
But been doing the ministry for 4 years now.
Wow.
Yes, so Vicky Grant Ministries is 4 years.
Wow.
This October.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. And I think the program, when are you having this program?
Is on the 23rd. That is this coming Sunday.
Wow.
Yes, and it's at 4 p.m.
Okay.
The venue is Life International Church.
Okay. Reverend Solomon's place.
Yes, exactly. And it used to be Miracle Life.
Gospel
Yes, yes, Reverend Gordon Kise.
That's right.
Yes, it's on the Mafienya Mataeko, the MX police station. It's just the church is just opposite. Yes, the MX police station.
Right. Now, viewers, let me take this opportunity to invite all of you. I mean, you need to be there to see this lady sing. I mean, it's not just singing. She ministers the spirit. She's so blessed with the passion for the things of God. And I will be there, and I encourage you also come. I mean, this is my sister, and please come support her ministry. It's been awesome when you see her sing. Now, I think the gentleman will also be part of the program, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, and what will be your role, if I have to ask?
Actually, I'll be the bassist.
Wow.
Yeah, the bass guitarist on the program.
That I like those bassist stuff, you know. You add some color to the whole show, and then it's good. For how long have you been with this ministry yourself?
I've been with this ministry from scratch. It's been really since 2012.
Loyalty.
Yeah,
Loyalty.
Since 2012 to date.
Wow, you are blessed. The oil is the main I can see. So Vicky, what should we expect? I mean, when we come?
Expect the presence of God. We don't want it to be like a concert. Don't think of coming to a concert. It's like a service, a normal service, that the presence will be felt. Yes, that is what we want to feel or experience at the program.
Wow.
Yes.
Vicky, you know, I love music. You clear your throat. Give me something just to put my morning show together. Anything.
Okay. Yeshirawo Safo Yehowa Wo Ye Kron On Kron Kron Yama Waso Safo Yehowa Wo Ye Kron On Kron Kron Yeshirawo Safo Yehowa Wo Ye Kron On Kron Kron Messiah Dawase.
Thank you, Jesus.
Wa aye Esasayada wa sio Esasayada awase Esasayada wa sio Esasayada wase.
I can feel the anointing all over the place. Indeed, you are blessed. Wow, wow. I'll surely be there. Now, for viewers' sake, let's see the date, the time, and the venue again.
The date is this coming Sunday, which is 23rd October, and it's at 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. MF's police station on the Tamafenya Road.
Yes.
Just opposite the police station.
Yes.
I entreat all of you to be part of this show. And you know what? I will be there. Weekend Review, our team will be there to support this program and this course. And we'll be behind our sister. And I want to say a big thank you once again for being part of Redeeming the Family Glory. It's been an honor.
We thank you so much for having us. God bless you.
We'll see you. Thank you so much. Right. Viewers, I will come back shortly with our topic of the week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
There is power in the name of Jesus.
Dear precious one, come join hundreds of families praying to bring back the glory due them in their relationships, marriages, and businesses. The most dangerous side to life is fighting the battle of the unseen.
Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live
presents Redeeming the Family Glory.
An atmosphere of worship and prayer to break bondages, curses, and to walk in liberty through a fulfilled life. GTV Life, a religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and to restore the family glory.
The venue is Unity Assemblies of God Church, Hacho, behind EcoBank, Hacho Atomic Road, with Reverend Dr. Kwame Bansa. Date, Sunday, 7th November 2016. Time, 8:30 a.m. sharp. Theme, celebrating our family. Precious one.
Evangelist Johnny Cole Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes it is not too late
For you and your family, come redeem the family glory through relentless prayer.
I will pray for the glory of my family. In Jesus' name.
This room, right in this room, we command you. I hear the
You're welcome back. Thank you so much for being part of the show, and the program is Weekend Review with me, Johnny called Dollarich, and we are about to do our topic of the week, but let me go quickly to my guests on set with me, and we'll get to introduce them. And I have on my immediate left this beautiful woman, Mrs. Selassie Doku, the country rep for Go Red Ghana. You're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you? Looking good as usual, eh?
Thank you.
Wow. How's the family doing?
By God's
I
grace.
see.
And we're doing
You're
well.
welcome. You're welcome
Thank
once
you.
again. And on my far left is this handsome man, and he is Dr. William Atulik, and he's a legal practitioner and a wonderful friend of mine as well. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And how are you and the family?
By God's grace.
I see. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I see. I see. And viewers, let's quickly do our topic of the weekend. Today we are looking at dealing with the emotional needs of your spouse. I caught you right there. Dealing with the emotional needs of your spouse. And yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things going on out there. Sometimes there's this indifferent attitude from some women and from some men. I mean, the kind of attention that each one is looking for is not there, and there's so much issues there. But we'll look at it. We'll see how best God will help us to go through this. And let me go quickly to my lady. They say ladies first. And but let's look at this. I mean, when people are craving for attention, you know, and it's not the time that you can be there to meet it, whatever the attention your spouse is looking for. For a start, what can you say?
I would like to say that if you're talking about emotions, meeting the emotions of your spouse, do we really know what our spouse needs? Do we actually even know what we need? First of all, we have to know what we need so that we can expect it from. I mean, if we know, then we can communicate it and then expect that it will be met. But if we don't really know what we need, then that's a problem right there. So first of all, we need to know what, as an individual, what your emotional needs are. For some people, it will be they are different. You know, we are all different, and as much as we are different, our emotional needs are also very different. And what will be for Mr. A will not be for Mr. B. So you have to know what your emotional needs are. And then also you communicate to your spouse what your emotional needs are. Then that's when the efforts of trying to meet it will come in.
I see. I'll come back to you, knowing what at any point in time. But Dr. Tulik, if we say somebody needs some emotional attention, to you, what are we calling for here?
Thank you very much. We are calling for paying attention to the things, the deeper things that make things people happy. True happiness comes from meeting your emotional, psychological needs. As for the physical things that we see, they don't really bring about true happiness. So to have your partner to be truly happy. That's right. You really have to pay attention to what that person really needs to be happy. And so these are deep things.
That's right.
And I agree with my sister that you cannot just say, oh, these are the things that everybody needs to be emotionally and psychologically satisfied. So you have to know what your spouse makeup is, what are the things that trigger, happiness for him or her, and what are the things that put him or her off. If you're not happy emotionally and psychologically, it shows from the outside. You cannot be effective. You wouldn't be efficient.
That's right.
In fact, if you start off the day with some emotional, distress, your productivity for the day will be zero. So it's very important that you identify what makes the other person truly happy. And that's what we talk about when we talk about emotional needs.
The program still continues, and it is the weekend review show. I know it's going to get interesting, but our WhatsApp line is up screen, and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. Let me go to my lady. You're talking about knowing. Somebody said, what like Dr. Atulik is just saying, in the morning, a woman just said, I wish he can just give me a kiss before he leaves the house, but he's always in a rush and he's running away. Being a woman, I mean, is this one of the things that can really put a woman on her track?
I would say that if that is what makes her happy, if that is what starts her day, then it's the honor lies on the spouse to try and meet it, because if you don't meet it, then her day is, and then meeting your partner's emotional needs comes from a place of care. Okay, you care for this person, you want to be there for the person. So what is it that makes him or her move? What is it that makes her happy? Because emotional needs are basically what makes one person happy, as doctor said. So if that is what makes her happy, and you can, how long does it take to give your wife a peck on the cheek? So if you make it your priority, then you would want, because you want a happy wife, you have a happy wife, you have a happy home.
That's right.
So if that is your priority, and you want to have that, then you want to meet it. And being married, the companionship that you need that person to be happy. So your life, because giving the emotional health support is not only for the person's benefit, but it has a way of rippling back to the family, and then to you as a person. Because if your spouse is happy, you're also happy in a way. Yes.
That's right.
So you have to make the effort. We need to have it at the back of our minds that we are in this to satisfy each other. We are in this to build a society that is happy, a society that is moving. And so you want to make the effort to meet that need.
That's right. But if somebody asks you that, okay, being a woman, I mean, what are some of those things that probably your husband can trigger and will give you that excitement, I mean, day in, day out?
I read a book, and it's titled His Needs, Her Needs. And the writer, Dr. Will Harley, said, you can generalize it. You can say, okay, everybody have emotional needs for affection, for this, there. He did a little research and realized there were 10 of them. But for women, what started for the women as priority were the reverse for the men. So with that said, it means that as much as you can categorize them and say, okay, men have needs for affection, women have needs for admiration and all that, that you still need to know what the individual really wants. Because for me, somebody said it's a peck on the cheek. For somebody might be offering a cup of tea. So you have to know what the individual needs. So I might communicate to you and say, look, when you fix me a cup of tea in the morning, you make my day. For another person, when you give her a peg, that is it. So, but on the general, women tend to go for the care, the caring, the support, some affection, admiration. And then the reverse for men will quickly go into affection, the hugs and the kisses, the sexual fulfillment. So that's what I can say for now, that there are some that you can categorize into general, but you still need to know what the individual. We cannot just say, okay, all men are in bracket A and all women are in bracket C.
That's right.
know.
I was just about saying that even the other side of the women would also want equal when it comes to the demand. But Dr. Chulik, let's find out this. If somebody like you are married to a woman and I don't know whether it has to be your personal kind of way to find out most of the things that she needs that will make her, or does she have to come out to tell you, if you do this for me, I'm okay, if you do this? How do we...
marriage is a lifelong union.
That's right.
And right from the onset, both parties must be committed to each other.
That's right.
Committed to understanding each other. You don't have to wait for somebody to tell you what you need to do to make him or her happy.
Right.
But it's an environment we are all learning, and the learning will continue until we are called by the Lord. So everybody should just make, if you want to make somebody happy, if you want to make somebody feel the worth that you really associate with the person, you do it. So you don't wait for somebody to say, I like you to do this for me or do that for me.
Right.
You continuously observe and see the things that put the person in a good mood, put the person in a bad mood. And occasionally you can ask, but you don't need to wait for somebody to tell you. As a human being who is rational, even the facial expression from somebody can tell you what the person likes or dislikes. So it's a commitment to make each other happy. And once you have that commitment that I'm setting out to make my spouse happy, you will find the thing that he or she really wants. Okay? So unless you make up your mind that you're not going to be bothered, which is a bad start. And so it's a lifelong process of learning to appreciate what makes your spouse happy. And so I don't think that you have to wait for him or her to tell you.
Exactly.
But occasionally, it doesn't hurt for you to express very good channels of communication. And as you communicate openly about issues, as you live life together, you will get to know that these are the things that make my spouse happy. The softer things you will get to know. If you live with somebody over a period of time, unless you are not, truly caring, you will definitely get to know some of the things that put the person off and the things that makes the person happy.
But here's the case, sometimes some women, sort of like complain that some men are being a bit indifferent. They are always on the go, and sometimes that petty things that normally trigger they are being, put them in that kind of category. But the men are not there, and it becomes challenging.
So my question, I'm just asking myself,
right.
What is this man doing? If you're in a relationship, you are married to this woman, and you have the intention to keep the marriage and to have a blissful one at that, then you would want to take a few minutes to find out whether she's communicating it to you or you're actually doing your own searching to find out what really makes. And if she keeps complaining and you keep brushing it aside, you are in for trouble, because very soon it would turn into something else. And for all you know, that what she's asking for is not even anything that you can't do, but because you've positioned yourself not to hear her out. So it brings us back to some level of communication.
That's right.
The way we communicate, how by what you're doing, you're communicating to this woman that I don't care. Because if you care for somebody, you want to listen
to the person. That's right.
You want to find out, am I okay? Am I doing well? Am I, what can I do more? Or you want to make sure that this person is happy. So if you're not really getting it and you don't seem to want to get it, then you don't really care. And that is where the woman would say, he doesn't care, I don't feel protected, there's no security, and all those things will come in. So I think that we have to try and make time for each other. If you're planning your day well, you're planning your time well, you have to have time for work, time for your kids, time for your ministry, time for family, and time for your spouse as well. All these things, it could also be a character or a temperament trait in this person that from his makeup, he just doesn't. So for you as a person asking for that,
That's right.
you also want to know, is this the way my
husband
is, or is that the way my wife is? Is that in his temperament? How do I cope with it? How do I get him to hear me out? If you're really searching, and you would be able to find out.
Yeah, but yes, I think I agree with her.
That's right.
But the other side of it also is, people grow up in different environments, and therefore perceive things differently.
That's right.
If you have a spouse whose orientation is not the same as yours because of the upbringing and the socialization, that is where you really need to have very clear communication channels to get the other person to appreciate that even though he or she doesn't really see these things as important, you do. And so clear communication
should be.
But there again, then both parties need to have a little bit of patience. Now, if you grow up from a very typical rural setting, the expression of affection and love and care it takes a different form.
That's right.
And if you grow up in a relatively, an urban setting with Western values of what
exactly.
So these things, so there's real need for patience, but you need clear communication. But when it gets to a point where somebody can say he doesn't care or she doesn't care, sometimes it can be deliberate. You get to a point where you just ignore the person. That's not good. Christians don't. You know that what you are doing is hurting the other person, and you just dismiss the person, and you take an attitude of, well, you can please yourself.
That's right.
Whatever you do, I don't mind. There can be nothing more hurting and more psychologically damaging. In fact, you can actually make the person not to feel his or her worth in this life by not paying attention to his psychological and emotional needs. So, yet we have differences, and sometimes what our partners may expect may not be the thing that we normally like to do from our upbringing. Again, so courtship, and before you get married, and learning to know who your partner is and what he or she expects becomes very important. And that's where people need to be real. And that's not when you fake. You're a guy, from the village. You hardly, learn the habit of a very gentle touch. You don't express it like that.
That's right.
But you realize that, no, that's what this person wants. You fake it. And then after marriage, you get to your real self. And then the person discovers that you are not the guy that she saw. Or it could be the other way around too.
That's right.
So people just have to be themselves. And for both to realize that the person, I like the person the way I see him or her, and I want to spend the rest of my life with him or her. If we fake our character and our way of expressions, and we get into marriage, and then we now bring out our true self, then we can really bring a lot of pressure to bear. Some people can take their lives. You can actually leave your spouse in complete loneliness. You can provide him or her with every physical thing, but the person will feel lonely because the way he or she wants you to express care and love, you are not doing that. People have different ways of thinking about love. So you really need to take time, understand the person, and truly accept that I am willing to live with this person the way he or she is. Sometimes the mistake we make is that, this guy, he doesn't know how to, but I'll teach him or she doesn't know, but I'll teach her. It gets difficult.
That's right.
If I grew up from age 1 to 20, 25,
with that
kind of orientation. So it's important that people are very honest about themselves and to let their partners know them, know their true, self, what they like, what they don't like. Don't fake.
That's right.
Your personality. It's important.
Now, this brings me to a point. I mean, a couple of months back, I spoke with one lady on the show, and apparently, the man, according to her, I never got the opportunity to talk to the man, but according to her, she only gets the man during sex time, that was in the night. I mean, there's nothing like communication. You come, we sit to chat. If you come, if it's eating, you finish eating, except during bedtime, and that is all. And this thing has continued for some time now, and the woman is getting really worried. Being a woman, sometimes let's deal with it critically, because sometimes you have this kind of husbands who are almost all the time on the run because of the nature of their businesses, and according to this woman, probably it's only the night time that you get to share that affection, and he's never there. When you get to that point, I mean, how do you handle yourself?
Wow. I'm sure she feels like she's in a box and she's trapped.
That's
and
right.
She can't
That's
come
right.
out,
That's
and
right.
It can be very dangerous because if you're not careful, if there's somebody around who is giving her that attention and everything, that's when you find that person in trouble. But again, I would say that you want to look at the temperament. Has it always been out? Has it always been the case? Has it been that he's always, ever since courtship and everything, he's always been that kind of a person? Then I would say maybe it's in his temperament, so you want to find out ways to tease communication out of him. But if it's not that is not his usual self, you want to find out what the problem is. You want to, I would want to find out what is causing the problem, what is causing the communication barrier. Why are we not communicating? Why are we not showing affection? So is he just trying to say, okay, this is what you need. I'm trying to consummate the marriage and that's it. That's all I want to have with you. There's no relationship. You're not building on the relationship. You're not I will want to find out what is going on. Is it that somebody else is getting his attention?
That's the question.
Is it that you want to find out, because you can't just say, okay. So if as a counselor, if you come to me with, I want to know the relationship before, during, and maybe before the situation. That's when you can get what is actually, you can get a picture of what is going on, and then you encourage her to try and get it out of him. You might not. It might be difficult, but I'm sure there's something that he would do or say that will give you a clue into what is going on. So if it's his nature, there's some people who probably have to pay. You have to pay them to talk.
Okay.
There are people who simply do not like to talk, but they have a way of showing affection. So you have to know, okay, this person does not talk much, but he's there for me at this time. Maybe for what I'm expecting him to do is not what he's doing. And most of the time, I think the writer said that we give what we expect. So it's not, you are actually giving what you expect the other person to give you, which is not what the other person needs.
That's right.
So we need to find out. We need to do a lot of searching. We need to study each other. So during courtship, you don't want to just have it be in the lovey-dovey, but you want to study this person. Who is this person that I'm with? What moves him? What to what extent can she go with this and that? Then you can, because if you don't know that, being in that relationship will be very difficult. And then I would say that you want to pray for the person. If the person is really tied down with a lot of decisions to make and is always on a crossroad, can't seem to know where he or she is going, you want to pray for clarity of mind so that you can relate better. Because when people are stressed out, they are not able to. When people are not even satisfied in themselves, okay, they are not able to provide for themselves the things that, because you need to make yourself happy before you can
You have to
actually
give out. That's
what
right.
you don't have, you can't give.
That's right. That's
so
right.
is it something that is with the person? Is he internalizing certain things that are really bugging him? Does he what is it? Is you want to find out, is something going on at work? Is it with the kids? Is it with the extended family? You want to do a little searching to find out what is actually going on. Then you can solve the problem. But if you simply write it out and say, oh, that's just the way he is, you might not solve the problem. It could be that there's something in the office that is really bugging this person, and he can't seem to find a way around it. So he's shutting everybody out. And if you would even find out, you realize even at work he's doing the same too. But he's a man, he wants to satisfy his he wants the sexual fulfillment. So he's going for it, and that's what he's actually focusing on. That's what gives him that what satisfies his emotions. So he's just going for that, forgetting about the other person in the boat. So we need to find out from this lady what is actually going on with the man, with his work, family, and other things. Then we can.
I see. I'll come back to. I have a question for you later. This is the weekend review show with me, Johnny called Dollarich, and I said earlier we have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. We're actually discussing dealing with the emotional needs of your spouse. I mean, that kind of attention and that. I mean, bits of that. I'm there for you. And the support. How do we handle all these issues together? And I have Dr. William Matulik and Mrs. Salasi Doku with me on set, and they are doing justice to the show. But let me go to Dr. Matulik. You had something to say earlier.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me hear you.
Whenever you get to a point where you realize that your emotional needs are not being met by your spouse, the tendency often is to conclude and say he or she is being wicked or doesn't care. But I think at that point you need to do some self-introspection.
Okay.
And ask, why is it that I'm not getting what I'm expecting from him or from her? You see, even the devil is not as wicked as he can be. When you do what the devil desires, he will, the devil helps people to do the bad things that they want to do because they do the rules. What I'm trying to say is that once you know what makes your spouse happy and you make him or her happy, she will reciprocate.
That's right.
So that's the point I'm trying to make.
That's right.
So even if bad people,
no matter how bad they
are,
that's right.
When you know what makes them happy, they will spare you and try to do good to you. How much more your spouse? Okay, so if you get to the point where you are feeling that the person is wicked, the person is not caring, while that might be the case, take a step back and ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Because when you throw a ball to the wall, it will bounce back.
That's right.
What you do to others,
surely
reflect back to you.
That's right.
So if you are not getting what you are expecting, that should be an opportunity for you to say, maybe I'm not doing what the other person is expecting. So rather than quickly just putting the blame on the other party and saying the person doesn't care and then brooding over it and allowing it to take over the better part of you, you should begin, asking yourself questions. But I concede also that there are times where you do what you think you need to do. But like Madam said earlier, maybe what you are doing and you think you are doing your best are not the thing that satisfy his or her emotional needs.
That's right.
But it's a fact that when you do good to others, they will tend to reciprocate. So when your spouse sees that you are doing everything to make him or her happy, she's more likely than not to reciprocate
That's right.
and make you also happy. So if you're not getting it, then
means,
ask. Maybe
questions.
there is something you're not doing right. Yeah.
I think that people are also appreciative of what others do, to the extent that even if you try to make the effort, they would know that, look, it's not there, but you are making the effort, and you will get some good results. Results out of that. So I tend to agree with that. No, people are not that wicked.
So far as it is coming, you surely give back IT. But let me ask, let me ask you this question: how true is it? Because a lady told me something that the greatest need, emotional need of every woman is to be talked to. She wants to hear something all the time, and that of a man is to be satisfied at night, so to say. How true could this be?
Well, I haven't done any research to find out how true this is, but I tend to believe that men are moved by sight. Okay, they are moved by sight, and women, for a woman, we internalize. We have a way of internalizing. It is what you give to us. You know, even as we carry the pregnancy, we take in.
That's right.
So we are the receiving end most of the time. So what you're dishing out to us is what we are taking in, and we are breaking it down into to mean what how you feel towards us. So I want to believe that yes, what you say to a woman can make a lot of difference.
That's right.
That's why most of the time you don't handle your wife anyhow during the day. You just talk to her anyhow, and then at night you expect her to be the super lovey-dovey woman. So if you want the best out of her, then keep her, shower her,
Sweet talks,
Songs of Solomon. It says a lot. Shower her with love. No, not gifts, but what is it that for a woman I went to this seminar and we're trying to find out what brings out the desire for sex in both men and women, and all the men were like, once you see we see the women, we see this, we do that. And it got to the turn of, and they were asking the women, what is it that brings the desire in a woman? And the men will not even let the women talk. So the moderator was like, this is the problem right here. We don't listen. Men tend not to listen. Because right then we had a big problem, because the men could quickly say, this, that. They all
That's
say,
right.
we want the women to look good. We want them to do this.
Right.
And then when you got to the men took the center stage. So I said, okay, can the women talk?
Exactly.
Can the women say how they? And as we were telling them, look, tell us that we look good. Tell us that we are doing the right thing.
That's right.
Talk to us. Communicate how you feel to us. And the men like, no, but it's your desire. You want it, so you tell us how you feel. And when we said, look, it's for a woman, it's not what she feels in her body. It is what is being given to her that will bring that desire. So right then the men were not even listening. They were still stuck in their own life. No, we want to know, how does your body feel? No.
The body doesn't feel
The body doesn't really. Maybe once in a month you would get that reaction. Yes. It is hormonal. You get that.
That's right.
But for most of the time, it is what you give her.
That's right.
So if the person
and much has to do with what you say.
So what you're saying to her is what will bring her into that realization that this man cares about me. Wow, he's really there for me. He's very protective. I'm in secured hands. So it is what you're dishing out. What you're telling her is what's the you need to be careful about. And women are we are all right. We talk. I hear that by 7 o'clock in the morning, a woman might have spoken 1,000 words, and a man would have put down like 100. So as we are talking, we also want to listen to what you have. We want to get into your head and see what is going on there. Make us feel, and then you
I saw this smile on your face.
Yeah, I don't disagree with her, but I was also looking at it.
Yeah.
That what she said is very true. The men and women completely different orientations.
That's right.
And I was smiling because I was just reflecting back to, I grew up in the rural community.
That's right.
And if I just reflect back, growing up, we hardly see our fathers and uncles, you know, speak and praise,
showing
our mothers and aunties,
yeah.
and that's I was just looking at that. So there are different orientations, but that's how the other side. So if you care to make your spouse happy and meet her emotional needs or his, then you need to understand that we are all not the same.
That's right.
But whilst I have said that, the women also have to understand that.
That's right.
The men are not like them, and so they take it a little bit
easy, especially those ones with few words.
Exactly.
You will not get them to say.
You know what? I tend to say, yeah, I agree with you, but when you want something and you really want it, you will go at all the length to get it.
That's true.
If a man wants to get that position at his job, he will do everything to get it.
That's right.
Why is it that when it comes to satisfying your wife or making her happy or meeting her emotional needs, you find it okay? Even in the village, they had ways of communicating.
That's right.
Okay, they had ways of communicating. They had ways of making the woman feel that you are special.
That's right.
You mean a lot to me. So I don't think we want to give it to the men that look if you really want to have. My husband is somebody who he doesn't talk a lot.
That's right.
And he also comes from, you say he always says that I'm a village boy.
That's right.
But when I look at the things he does, I'm like, I'm not sure this is this is the village way.
But he's a polished village boy.
Then you know what? That is a deliberate attempt, going out of your way to make somebody happy.
That's
because
right.
you find that that is what makes her happy.
That's
so
right.
you get out of your way to do it. But we should admit that sometimes it can be a challenge.
Exactly.
Depending upon where you come from. Not everybody has words.
That's right.
There are others, they have it very easily. They might even deceive you.
I was coming to that base because
what you want to hear.
Exactly. Because I know there are some few people out there who, because they look at your orientation, like you are saying, and they know, okay, this is what moves you, and therefore, whether true or not true, they would want to push and then make you okay.
You need to be careful.
That
right. Doesn't mean that you can take the person for granted.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Because they will know, unless the person is actually blinded and think that. But what if he or she will know that? Look, this is the song I was going to see, but
all right, it's like some Kukanasi story kind of thing.
They will know. We read in between the lines. You know that okay. So even with husband and wife, by the time your husband is actually or your wife is being nice and doing something a bit extra, you want to say, so what do you really want? What are you up to? Like my husband said, oh, let's go and watch football. Let's go. I'm like, football. Oh, do you want to go to the mall? I'm like, go to the mall. But
he's pressing some buttons
and then I find out that there's a football match that he wants to go and watch. So he wants to take me to he wants me to accompany him.
That's right.
So you know, and some of them can be taken lightly. I mean, it's part of it. And then there are some that, but don't take the person for granted. Don't think that he or she would not know when you're just trying to dish out something to get what you want.
That's right.
It could go for the positive and go for the negative as well. So you need to be careful because there are people who before they find out what's your name, they've already told you I love you. They don't even know the person, but because they talk.
Exactly.
They would say anything
sometimes
to get what they want.
They even forget what they say. I mean, when
and yet there are others who truly care, and they have different ways of expressing their care, but they will not open their mouth to say it.
That's right.
So, why those people should learn how to appreciate others with words if your spouse is not very worthy, try in terms of a lot of words, you have to also appreciate. But we should be real. We should be real human beings. When somebody cares for you and really is interested in your welfare, you will know. Okay. Now, if you realize that this person really loves me, he or she cares for me. It's just that he's not doing it the way I expect or I want. That's where you should open the communication lines so that gradually. But that one you need to tone down your expectations.
Yeah. There are times when the person might even wrong you, but you know deep down in your heart that this person cares for me and will not intentionally want to do that.
That's right.
So
that's right.
It makes forgiving very
easy. That's right.
When you know that this person means well. He might have wronged me, but he means well. He didn't do it with the intention to really hurt me.
That's right.
And it helps that way.
Let's look at the dangers when one tend to kind of be blind about the emotional needs of the spouse.
It's very dangerous.
Very.
Extremely dangerous. In fact, your whole being, the different departments of your life, your Christian life, your professional life, your social life, all of the things that you do is influenced by your emotional persona, the way you if you are emotionally distressed, psychologically confused, nothing works.
Wow.
And so if you do not meet the emotional needs of your spouse or his psychological or her psychological needs, you're actually killing the person slowly. And there are situations where people are really, really suffocating very silently because their needs are not being met. And they take it like that and they just live like that. But if you check the output level of people in that kind of situation, it's not positive.
It's not positive.
So it's very dangerous. If the person is not very strong. It doesn't have a strong personality, it could lead even to taking your life. Yeah.
Very
so
dangerous.
It's not good. Material things are not the things that really matter. What really makes you a human being is that you have a feeling of being loved, being taken seriously, especially by the person very close to you.
That's right.
And so if you get to the point where you are thinking that this person doesn't really respect me, doesn't want to do, then your general outlook of the world changes, and it influences the way you do things. So people should take time to meet the emotional needs of their spouse.
So as you said, it's very dangerous. Because as a person, human beings are relational. We relate. So if the very person who at one point in time of your life or at one time in life said, "Look, for better for worse, I will be there with you. We will do this together. We'll share life together," and you realize that maybe months into the marriage, years into, you realize that this person has no clue what my needs are and is not making any effort. And even with communication, trying to get him to understand or her to understand that this is what it can be frustrating. It can be a mental disaster. I mean, this person would find him or herself in a box where he cannot come out, and others, everybody has a way of responding to these things. Some will rebel in a certain way. You find that their behavior turns out to be what is not supposed to be because they are craving for attention. Their behavior and spirit. If the person is not strong spiritually, then they are all over the place. Before you know it, if it's sexual needs, sometimes they don't even. It's not even sexual needs, but they turn out to react in that way. They are all over the place.
That's right.
So you need to, if your intention to be married is to keep it and present your spouse to the Lord, then you will want to pay attention to what is going on.
If somebody is out there, I mean, facing this challenge of, I mean, emotional deficiency, I mean, you could see your husband is not there, your wife is not there, body, soul, and mind. I mean, how do you handle yourself?
First, pray about it. But my point of start is always look at myself and ask myself, okay, so I'm not getting what I need. Am I giving him or her what he needs?
Okay,
that's my starting point.
That's
and
right.
I have seen a few examples where it worked. So at the initial stages, the lady is just nagging and complaining. You don't care. You don't. After receiving some counsel, decides that okay, I'll tone down and I'll try to. Even though she was not happy, she tries to work on the thing that will make, and then gradually, and then the guy, changes. So start from you, and one mistake we make most of the time is a self-justification.
That's right.
I'm right. He or she is the problem. Most of the time we are the problem. And we don't see us as the problem. We rather see the other party as the problem. If you are the problem and you don't solve the problem, you will nag forever. You will stay there because that person also is wired as a human being, just the same way you are. So the way you are feeling, he or she may be feeling similarly. So start addressing the issue from your side, and you get a response.
You get a response.
So reverse psychology has a way of solving. So you're working on yourself. You're searching through. You're asking yourself, can I go the extra mile?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. This person doesn't care. He doesn't do this. Okay, what can I do so that I will be happy? Satisfy myself. Okay, I will make sure that I'm here to be there for my husband, to be there for my wife. I will be there. I will work on myself. I will be there. I will not make the other party mistakes or what he's not providing my focus. But I would rather want to work on myself and say, okay, let me position myself such that his behavior does not hurt me. So how do I do that? I want to give out what I think that what I think I want to receive. And it's reciprocal. Look, it works. It is so what the law of giving. Once you give,
it will surely come.
You will receive. Once you give, you will receive. I mean, who on earth would be given love so many times, and will not sit down one day to say, this woman has been given all her all, and I don't think there's I don't think the devil himself would even.
That's right.
You want to give back.
Just to buttress. If you just go on the street right now and you meet somebody and you just give the person a smile.
That's right.
Naturally, the
automatically
person
smile back.
you.
That's right.
If I stretch my hand, you will get this
that's
thing.
right.
So it's a natural phenomenon that what you give tend to get bounce back onto you. And there is also a vicious cycle. If you are having emotional challenges and you vent out in a negative way, it will go through a vicious cycle. Actually make the person more hurt and then deepen that challenge you are having. And the reaction will be even worse, negative. And that cycle will go on and it will break down. Now, but I like something she said. Once you are in a relationship, just make up your mind. I am in it. Some people they are there with options.
That's right. They are there, but
they have options. That well, if it doesn't work out, every now and then, okay. If you think you don't love me, then let me go.
Let me go. Let me tell me.
That's a non-starter.
Yeah.
I mean, this union to make it work. So, however it is going. My objective is to make it work. What can I do to make it work? Let that be your focus and your attention. If you make it that way, something that normally would have been a huge problem, if you have options, then the problem. But if you say that I am in to stay, you can find a way. You find a way.
So to say, I mean, for those of us who are out there, that the least thing, and then we want to I mean,
that's a very bad habit, and we shouldn't entertain it. All right. So tell yourself, and men that easily tell them go.
I wanted to use the word, but it's not good for TV.
I mean, how can you do that? And then ladies that are the least provocation, and she's, I'll take my chance and go. Go where? This is a relationship
What is
for
a
better.
go where?
Yeah. So once you make up your mind that I'm in this union to stay, then you condition your mind that I will make it work.
You know, the issue is that, as he said, people enter into marriage with options, as if it's a try and error, you know,
kind of a thing.
Okay, when I go and it's not working, I have to go this way and go that way. But if you know that you understand the originator of marriage, the person who originated. Sometimes we tend to think that man originated marriage. No. The originator of marriage is God. And how does he want it to be? So if you understand that, then you know that you're on a journey of no return.
That's right.
And you don't have options. And so when you have hurdles, you will learn to jump them.
Wow. This is deep. Viewers, I don't know about you, but this is a program you really have to call somebody also to call somebody to watch. Weekend reviews on air every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. and a repeat at 7 p.m. Here, we say we bring the family together, reshaping society for tomorrow's generation. If you just tune in, we have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Get connected with us every weekend and let's do this show together. But I want to say a big thank you to Dr. William Matulik for passing through the program. I'm so grateful. It's been insightful. I mean, thought provoking. I mean, it's been wonderful. Thank you. And Mrs. Salasidoku, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Viewers, I want to say one thing before we leave this set. I mean, I don't know about you, but if you can only put in a little effort, trust me, it will work. If you can go there just a little mile to ensure that whatever you are going through in your family, in your relationship, in your home, in that business or in whatever that you are doing, if only you can take one more step of faith to ensure that it is working, trust me, it will surely work. And on that note, we want to say a big thank you for you watching this program. Please make sure you tune in next week, same time with us on GTV Live, 8:30 in the morning and 7 p.m. I love you so much, you can't do anything about it. But hey, Shabak, it is your birthday. Look, I love you so much. And last year, I promised you a bicycle. I couldn't get it for you. I'm even ashamed. I'll get it for you this time around, God willing. Thank you so much. Sweet, I love you. And all the children, God bless you. We'll see you same time next week.